Bonjour les jeunes, j'espère que vous allez bien et que vous continuez à apprendre le français, parler en français. I hope you're continuing to learn French and speak in French. So I sent you for this week, I sent you the 16th lesson again. And the reason is because I wanted you to have the front of the lesson, this part right here. I wanted you to have it on hand, okay? And you've done the A part of the exercises, but we are going to do the B part, which is the grammar part. So you have to go ahead and take your paper, your page right here, and go to grammar, B, grammaire. All right, so you have to conjugate tenir in the present tense. And so we talked about it. You have the verb venir as an example, and I wanted you to, I'll have it this Friday, but I wanted you to write down the verb tenir, obtenir, contenir, and to write those on paper. So they want you to write it again right here. So go ahead and write the verb tenir. I'm gonna just write it on the board, and that way you can see it, okay? So tenir is, hold on, I did not want to erase this. That's okay, I'll erase this. Okay. You see it over here? I'll just do it like this. Okay. So tenir, this part right here is, what is it? Your ending. And this is TN is going to be your stem. Okay, we keep the stem, but we change the ending. And of course, tenir is, this is in the regular sense. But tenir is not irregular, it's irregular. So how do we do this? So we look at venir in the example in the front, and we're going to do it the same way. And so this is how it's going to go. Je tiens. Je tiens. So you see how it changes it. It has an I right here. It's like they put the I from here right here, right? And then they put the S at the end. So they made it like very different. Je tenis, that's not correct. You cannot write je tenis. Although if it was a regular verb, that's what it would be, right? Because we would take out the ending, and this is the stem, and it would be IS. But that is wrong. So we don't want this. We want je tiens. Je tiens. And then tu tiens. Now the good thing is that the S stays the same, right? Il tient. And so this is not going to be an S, it's going to be a T. S-S-T. Right? Just like I-S, if it was regular, it would be I-S, I-S-I-T. All right, so this remains the same. Nous tenons. And here, it's regular again. Do you see that? The T-E-N, it's regular again. Vous tenez. So this part is actually regular. Easy. And then il with an S. Tiennent. And now it's not regular again. Tiennent. Okay, we add the I is back over here. Il tient. Je tiens, tu tiens, il tient, nous tenons, vous tenez, ils tiennent. Ils tiennent. All right, very good. So let's go look at number 2. Number 2. The preposition de can mean something or something. So let's talk about this. So you can pause and you can write this down. Okay, so let's look over here. De. So it's important that we understand de because de has many definitions in French. But we're only gonna talk about 2 definitions, and I told you that before. It means of, or it means from. Okay? So for instance, if I say, I am from France, je suis de France. Je suis, on dit je suis de France. Je suis de France, right? Or you could say, c'est le sac de ma mère. C'est le sac, it is the purse of my mother. C'est le sac de ma mère. So notice, de here means from, of, and here it means from, right? I am from France. It is the purse of my mother. So, je suis de France, c'est le sac de ma mère. So, de is very important. Actually, even native speakers sometimes use it incorrectly because we use de a lot. For instance, we use it in here as well. And you're going to have to know this. Every time we have a negative sentence, remember the sandwich, right? We have ne and then the verb. Always your verb goes here, your action goes here. And then pas. So like let's say you say, I do not want. Je ne veux pas, right? Je ne veux pas. And then here you have de poisson. Every time you have a negative sentence, right after the negative sentence, you use de. Okay? Here, ne rien. So it's, what does that mean? I don't want anything, right? Or it's like not anything. Here it's not. Here it doesn't mean not, it just means not anything. Like for instance, when you say, I do not want anything. Je ne veux rien. Je ne veux rien. Well, actually, if you want to say nothing at all, you would put du tout. So it's du is like de le, right? Je ne veux rien du tout. Here, ne jamais means never. For instance, I never want anything. Je ne veux, I never want, je ne veux jamais d'animaux. Since the animal starts with a vowel, we put the apostrophe, right? But if you wanted to say fish, je ne veux jamais de poisson, right? I never want fish. So, de is comes always after a negative sentence. You don't say je ne veux pas poisson. No, je ne veux pas de poisson. And it's not de as in number 2. That's written differently. This is de like this. This is de. Je ne veux pas de poisson. Okay, does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Okay. So the preposition, so let's look at number 2. The preposition de can mean of or from. You see it? Of or from. It agrees with what? It agrees with the object, right? That's following. It agrees with the object. Unless there is an adjective before it. So this is a little bit complicated, this part with the de, because this is a little bit more elevated for a harder, more advanced level of French. But as we go through, reading in French and everything, when we encounter it, I'll point it out to you so you can notice the de, okay? So here, just put it agrees with the object unless there is an adjective before it, okay? All right, name 2 verbs that are conjugated like each of the following. So, finir, give me 2 verbs that are the same, that are conjugated the same way. Is finir a regular verb or irregular? Right, it's regular. So put 2 other verbs. That's from the previous lesson. Do you remember? You wrote them down. So you had finir, and then what was the other 2 verbs that were regular? You use those in your dialogue. Okay, then you have dormir. Remember that one? That one is irregular, so you do it differently as well. Dormir et je dors, right? What are other words that are kind of conjugated similarly? And then tenir. So how many verbs? You have it here with you, tenir, and you can see which other 3 you can put there that are conjugated in the same manner. Okay? So we've done your B grammaire. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to write another dialogue and send me another video on Friday. And your dialogue is going to be about direction. And do you remember last week when you did your monument? So what I want you to do for this week is I want you to remember all the things that you learned about that monument, because you did a study on it. And I want you to actually do a little dialogue of somebody searching or looking for that monument in Paris. Somebody walking in the street of Paris, looking for that monument, not knowing where it is, and asking somebody questions. Excuse me, ma'am, where is l'Arc de Triomphe? If you chose the Arc of Triumph, then you do it with that one. And she might tell you in what district it is. So you're just going to follow the dialogue that is in the front page right here, because that's the dialogue of searching for the Eiffel Tower, right? So now you're going to pretend that you're searching for your monument, the one you studied on. And you're going to ask questions. Now, I want it to be about how big, the same kind of length as this one is. I don't want you to copy it, even if you did the Eiffel Tower. I mean, you're probably going to say some of the same thing, but that's okay. But I want you to do different directions, okay? So don't just copy. Use as many words as you can from your vocabulary, okay? Mais je veux que vous fassiez un dialogue sur le monument que vous avez étudié, okay? Et utilisez les mots du vocabulaire que vous avez appris. All right, so this is your work. C'est votre travail pour vendredi, for Friday. Be grammar and the video. You have to write your dialogue on a piece of paper, and I want to see that piece of paper. Je veux voir votre papier avec votre dialogue. Et la vidéo avec vous qui fassiez le dialogue, okay? So this is your work, and that's all there is for French this week. So it's an easy week, right? Okay. Au revoir les enfants, à bientôt.